Republican frontrunner Donald Trump has been criticized for his politics breeding hate, fear, and divisiveness. Yet, he continues to enjoy and employ a loyal fan base, and polls show him with a dominant lead across the field. One such loyal staunch of support has come from an unusual group. Indian Americans for Trump 2016, headed by some of the reputed voices in the Indian American community here in the heart of New York. I've got with me Anand Ahuja, who's an attorney here in Manhattan, as well as the Vice President for for Trump's for 2016, Dr. Sudhir Parikh, who's a notable physician, as well as a special advisor in this organization, and Mr. Dave Makkar, a businessman in New Jersey, who is a treasurer and secretary in the organization. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me here in Times Square. My first question has to be, why did you decide to support Mr. Donald Trump?
See, I am an attorney by profession, and in my practice, I see a lot of illegal immigrants here. So I was attracted toward Donald Trump because of his physical policies, his economic policy, his foreign relation policies, his immigration. So when Donald Trump says, let's make America great again, that's the reason I was attracted, and I believe that keeping in view his leadership qualities, he will make America great again.
Dr. Parikh, many say that he's alienated a lot of minorities. You know, again, remarks against Mexicans we've seen, and Mr. Ahuja referred to some of those, against African Americans and even Indians now with H-1B visas. He's made remarks that he will abolish those because they are taking jobs from qualified Americans. Yet, you have decided to support Donald Trump. So explain me your reason.
Well, I personally believe that he is a very strong candidate out of the candidates who are contesting. Number two, he's a doer because he has shown in New York City since '77 when he was nobody, and then he dealt with the Mayor Ed Koch, Giuliani, Bloomberg. These are the very powerful political figures, and he became a successful businessman. So I think he's a good for economy, he's a good for trade, and particularly is very good for India. I always support a person who will support the Indian American community here, and I believe that out of all these candidates, I think Donald Trump, since he's a New Yorker, he's more open-minded than any other candidate to deal with the minorities. It's kind of contrary to the perception people have.
That's really the unusual dilemma, that this narrative that Mr. Donald Trump is espousing, you know, on public forums and all the speeches seems to be very xenophobic. It seems to be the working class white Americans only, Mr. Makkar. Then why does your group feel that he is going to be so good for the Indian American community? We are a minority after all.
I'm a political and community activist. Number one, I'm against career politicians. And if you look at the mood of Americans, and so far the voting has been done, Mr. Trump has got vote from across the board. It's not that Indians have not voted for him, Mexican has also voted for him, and Muslims have also voted for him.
It's a very small base though right now,
No.
because in Republican primaries there are not many registered.
Everybody has voted for them. And Mr. Trump is a self-funded politician. He turned politician from businessman. He's a self-funded. And if you look at the American system, right now it is in ICU. In 2012, both parties spent 1.6 billion with a B, and outside money was 2.5 billion. And Trump, it's not about Trump. This is a historic and election, and very exciting election in which you are looking at it. Okay, one man has taken a fight against the power brokers, donors club, and the super PACs, where you don't know who is putting the money in that. So it's a people's fight. Even in Republican Party, 2/3 of the Republican wants an outsider. If you look at Democrat, they want an outsider, but the choice is very bad. You have a career politician since '76, Hillary Clinton, who charged for 3 speeches $675,000, which is, in my opinion, is a bribe. It's not a speaking fee.
So you are saying that, you know, the majority of Indians who typically tend to be democratic, in fact 88% Indian Americans voted for Barack Obama in 2008, will change now. Hillary Clinton is a public figure in India as well, so she has tremendous support. So this is unusual that you're not only are you supporting a Republican, you're also supporting a Republican who's been disowned in many ways from his own party.
Well, I mean, disowned by his own party because it's a vested interest in the establishment. Because they want someone who is their puppet. And this guy is an outsider, and he's trying to do the reform of the whole political system and electoral system. And even though you are saying that 80% of the Indians are Democrat, that is not true. If you look at during Barack Obama time, yes, 80% voted for Democrat, President Obama. But if you look at the 2004 census, where 55% of the Indian American voted for Republican. Then more voted for Republican than Democrat, because we are more affluent community. We are a very successful community. Our family values are same as what Republican family values they are talking about, means family unit and anti-abortion and anti-certain gender and all those things. So we relate much more with the Republican, because our community is just like a affluent community. You know, it's not we are not kind of a poor community. We are not like a Spanish community, or we are not like other community which is they are struggling. So I think more and more Indian in their heart they will end up voting the Republican.
Okay, they might end up voting Republican, but just tell me how this pact was formed, because I know it is not fundraising group, because Donald Trump has said he's not going to take any funds and he's personally financing his campaign. So what is your group doing? It was formed in January. You are registered with the due agencies. Yes. Just describe to me, Mr. Ahuja, how you intend to spread this message.
Yeah, actually what happened, it was a group of like-minded Indians. We were in social gatherings, we were discussing all these ideas at a very informal level. And our main objective here is to educate masses. And one of the examples I can give you, as you said, that general perception is that Indians are Democrats. I normally say, and as Dr. Sudhir Parikh mentioned very rightly, that we come from a very conservative country, right? India is by and large is a conservative society. So coming from that particular society, when I interact, or we interact with our Desi community, and we ask them these questions, that you are Democrats, but are you from a very liberal family in India? And they react, they say, no, we are very conservative, we are very traditional families. And then we tell them this is what the Republicans, they believe in. But I will just touch upon, as you asked a question about minorities. It's not true that minorities are not supporting Donald Trump. Recently, there are two other groups were formed. One is Indian American Sikhs for Trump, and there is another I have heard from Indian American Muslims for Trump. So it's not that just we Indians who are not from minorities, we are supporting Donald Trump, but within Indian community also, minorities are supporting Donald Trump. And in Nevada, you are seeing that by and large Spanish groups, they supported Donald Trump.
Well, in Nevada, to be fair, the voter base was only 100 people. So within that, yes, he won the popular vote. But, you know, to your point of minorities supporting Donald Trump, I just want to ask you, what is the exact number which is going to come out in support of Donald Trump? Because you being very specific here, so you know he has also made a lot of comments, and in fact if you look at exit polls, it says 6 out of 10 of Donald Trump supporters actually support slavery. They want to bring back slavery. More than 70% of them want Muslims to be out of the country, not just those which are coming as which he stated as a temporary ban, but a permanent ban. So there are all these very polarizing forces at work in his voter base. Can you explain how you will override that and gain traction?
Right. No, we as a group, I can say even on behalf of everyone, that we do not agree on each and every comment done by Mr. Donald Trump. For example, to ban the religious group or ban a group of the people from the particular country, it is unconstitutional. We never support that. We support Donald Trump because we are the affluent community. We have to protect our own interest, and we know that Donald Trump is an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur, businessman. So he can improve the economy much better way than a career politician. Plus, he has proven himself that he can be a doer, and he is a doer. So we may not agree on his couple of other social agenda, but overall I think he's a doer. He's a strong for business. He's a strong for the trade, and he already has his own personal business in India. And he understands India's 400 million big middle class, big opportunity there. So I'm sure he will be good for India, and it will be good for making India.